Stop waiting for the perfect time to start training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because there isn't one. Right now is the perfect time to start training. I have seen a growing trend online and even in the comment section of my own videos where people are interested in training BJJ but say they are afraid of even trying out their first class. So in today's video, I will dispel some of the fears around training, starting BJJ, and show you that it's not as scary as it seems and help you take that first step in your BJJ journey. How many times do you use the word can't in a normal day, or any word with a negative connotation? I can't make the time, I won't know how to do that, I don't see progress happening there. Soon, all those can'ts that run through your mind can turn into a self-fulfilling prophecy. The word can't is so powerful that even just thinking it can make you feel defeated before even attempting to achieve something. This might be the mindset you have that would deter you from attending your first BJJ class, but instead of thinking you can't, I encourage you to switch this mindset into a problem-solving mindset and go from there. Think about what's giving you feelings of anxiety or what you think is standing in the way of you attending your first class. Figure out how to make yourself more comfortable. You could research the school beforehand, so go check out their social media, stalk their social media, and that way you can get a great feel for what the environment of the academy will be like. You can see like who the instructors are, you can see the facilities, so you can kind of familiarize yourself with the layout of the gym. Maybe you have a friend that already trains, you can ask them about how to get started or what to expect. Even online, there's a lot of new people showing their progress. They're documenting their journey so you can see what they went through, the steps they went through to get started. Having that problem-solving mentality, that problem-solving mindset is going to be very beneficial moving forward in your jiu-jitsu journey. No one wants to look bad at anything, especially at something they just started. The feeling of failing and having others watching you fail can actually sound like a nightmare, but we all have to start somewhere. Even I was a white belt, just like you guys. And as a new student, you will do some silly things. You know, you're gonna probably step with your shoes onto the mat. You're probably gonna line up in the wrong place. You're definitely gonna forget some techniques. It's gonna happen. But I can assure you, as an instructor, we have zero expectations. In fact, in most gyms, your instructor and even the higher belts in your academy will be there to help guide you. So you should never feel like you're gonna make a fool of yourself. Real talk, you know, failing is a part of jiu-jitsu. There's no way to not fail in jiu-jitsu. So just think of it as just a part of the learning process. You know, even black belts, we mess up a lot of times. Every tap, every submission is just a tiny part of your learning process that you will repeat 1,000 times over in all different ways. So don't get caught up in looking cool or looking like a fool. Adopt that mindset that you are there to learn and, most important, to better yourself day by day. The number one excuse that I hear as to why people can't start BJJ is because they want to get in shape before even starting. But I have to ask you, how are you going to get in shape if you never take the initial step? If you never take that first class, you never walk into the academy, how are you planning on getting into shape? Attending your first class is the first step of getting back into shape. I have seen time and time again, when someone gets over that first hurdle, they end up liking BJJ so much that it encourages them to do other forms of exercise so that they can improve in BJJ. Just by starting jiu-jitsu, it's going to make you want to be in better shape, you know, so you can have better cardio, better conditioning, more strength to do better in BJJ. I'm not going to lie to you, the first few weeks of training will be a challenge. There will be a lot of unfamiliar movements your body isn't used to, and starting any new workout will probably cause soreness. You know, your back, probably your core, your neck, you know, from keeping your head up, probably other places you never knew existed. But if you keep showing up, your body will adapt and get used to those movements. Luckily, all BJJ academies have beginners classes designed for new students like yourself. In fact, these classes are mostly made up of new students and everyone is basically in the same boat. The whole objective of fundamentals class is to build a solid foundation of strength, flexibility, and a solid base of technical knowledge from the ground up. Another obstacle that might stand in the way of you attending your first class can be a lack of motivation. With any kind of commitment in life, we all lose steam every now and then. It's natural to feel uninterested in doing things sometimes. especially obligations. Sometimes you don't want to do what you need to do. We start canceling on social events, call in sick to work even when you just don't feel like going. Sometimes we just don't want to do anything. During these spells, we probably don't want to start anything new, much less trying out a daunting BJJ class. But the good news is, if you have the desire to start BJJ, whether it be for fitness or self-defense, you already have some motivation to begin. But perhaps you can also find external motivation to help you make the initial step. You can get a friend to attend the class alongside you to keep you accountable, and also so you won't be alone. You know, it helps to have a friend, training buddy, training partner. I'm a big fan of using rewards to motivate myself. So maybe you can treat yourself to a great dinner if you attend class, or buy yourself that new gadget that you've been eyeing after completing a week of training. You know, that new iPhone, that new camera, that new motorcycle. Maybe a motorcycle after a year, or when you get your blue belt, you can get that motorcycle. Make the external motivation work with the initial motivation you felt in wanting to join a gym. And before you know it, you might be beating up your buddies now. It's natural to feel self-conscious, nervous, or shy in front of others at times. These feelings are probably worse when you are starting something new in a setting where you don't know anybody else. If you feel this way towards starting BJJ, then you probably feel this way about a lot of new or even regular experiences in life. But think about it this way: if left unchecked, those feelings can turn into a bigger, more powerful fear. That fear can keep you from meeting new people, traveling, having new experiences, and gaining new insights. People talk about FOMO, fear of missing out. And unfortunately, the fear of the unknown will cause many instances of missing out on things that could greatly benefit you. Even if you're open to new experiences, I think everybody feels a bit anxious when they first step onto the mats, into an unfamiliar environment where you have to demonstrate your physical abilities in front of people you don't know. But again, just remember, you will be amongst others who feel exactly the same way. Everyone in the beginner's class is in the same position as you. This alone will help you build a bridge with other students through that shared experience. Also, the right academy should have an inviting environment where you feel safe and able to easily make friends and increase your social skills. In many cases, the fundamentals class is where most people will find teammates who later become lifelong friends. Having a group where you can learn and support each other as both teammates and friends is an invaluable benefit of BJJ. One last concern you might have when entering into a combat sport like BJJ is whether it's safe or not. Like every other combat sport, there are risks, but BJJ is considered to be one of the safest martial arts because there's no striking in BJJ. There's none of this, guys. There's none of maybe by accident, but not on purpose. You must rely on your movement and strategy to win instead of using sheer strength and power. So not many worries of black eyes going into the office. And as a beginner, the majority of the moves that you learn will incorporate fundamental movement skills and basic techniques designed to keep you safe and introduce you to the sport. Some of these moves, you're going to learn how to fall, how to break fall. You're going to learn how to roll forwards, how to roll backwards safely without injuring your neck. You're going to learn how to shrimp out, which is how we move on our backs when we're on the ground, and other basic movements designed to strengthen your body and prepare you for the practice of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Don't get me wrong, there's always a chance you can injure yourself in training if you're not careful. We can mitigate this by learning how to tap out. When we get caught in a submission, we can mitigate this by learning proper movements, learn how to move properly with technique. All that's going to help you just to be safer. But most instructors will keep an extra close eye on you to ensure safety, as well as the higher belts. They're going to all kind of keep a close eye on you to make sure you don't get injured, and also to make sure the other new people don't injure you. The higher belts are there to help you. They're going to mentor you. They're going to keep an eye on you. They're going to help guide you. Ultimately, you have to decide how long you're going to wait at the starting line of this new adventure called BJJ. I can only dispel the fears, but you got to take that first step, guys. You got to do it for yourself. I want you to do it, but you got to do it for yourself too. Life is like an hourglass, and you have to decide how many more grains of sand you're willing to let slide through your hands before you take off. The first steps are the hardest. However, walking through the doors of your academy is potentially the best thing you can do in your entire life. In my own personal experiences, I've met my best friends in the whole world through Jiu-Jitsu, and I've also been able to travel the world. I've been on reality TV shows, I've done some of the biggest tournaments in the world because of jiu-jitsu. The academy is one of the best places to help you achieve your goals. You know, that could be losing weight, that could be learning self-defense, how to protect yourself and your family, that could be learning how to develop social skills, becoming more social, that could be making new friends, making lifelong friends. All I can say is stop waiting, guys. Stop waiting and start your BJJ journey.